I have two major flaws for a political career. I'm young, and I am a woman. As a young person, people expected me to listen respectfully to my older colleagues. I felt that my voice was less worthy than theirs. And as a woman, I've been judged by completely different criteria. Like, what is she wearing? She has a funny laugh. Or even, would she sleep with me? At one of my first important meetings, I was presenting a project of mine to one of my colleagues. When I finished explaining it to him, he said, I'll have to think about it. But it was worth meeting with you. You have really nice eyes. I'm upset by the situation, and I want things to be different. Not only representation for women and young people, but all kinds of issues like global warming, and also issues that impact daily life. I believe that policies can have a substantial effect on all these issues. But as a young woman, entering politics can be so discouraging, we might decide to avoid it altogether. Luckily, I am stubborn, so I get into politics anyway. I was 16, so I was super young, and I directly experienced that we need to make more room for politicians and young politicians in politics. Because when we are not represented enough in politics, it means that the people who are making decisions for our future are closer to the age of retirement than to the age of 30. And when someone stays in the same position for a very long time, they tend to making decisions to ensure this position instead of making decisions for the common good. If we want an evolving government, we have to be flexible. And we can't afford to have politicians who doesn't want things to change because it's safer or more comfortable for them. Actually, I think that we need more young people in every decision-making roles. And politics made it very clear for me. But what keeps young people out of leadership role? 3 mistakes. I know because I'm guilty of them myself. First, we are too proud to ask when we don't know something, because we don't want to look foolish. Second, we are afraid to stand our ground, because we don't want to be disrespectful. And third, we don't show enough solidarity with each other. The first time I was in charge to defend even a position in front of my party, I was sure they would agree with me, so I thought it was an easy job. I didn't take the time to prepare. I just looked on the website and picked up 2 or 3 arguments. But as I was reading, I had the feeling that those arguments were not the best. And I thought about others that might convince my party better. But I was in a rush. And since they didn't appear on the website, I doubted myself. So I brought arguments I wasn't comfortable with in front of my party. As you can imagine, I didn't do a good job. so much so that one of my colleagues had to come to my rescue, using the same arguments I had thought about before. So, if I had speak with my colleagues before, if I had do my homework, and most importantly, if I had trusted myself, I would have realized that my opinions were relevant. In politics, information is at the core of the system. If you want to be recognized and if you want to be respected, start asking questions. Seek the support of more experienced politicians. Get them on board by recognizing their knowledge and ask them to teach you. Be honest about what you know and what you don't know yet. Do your homework, be prepared, and fight to be heard. It won't be comfortable, and it will never be. But we have to take the risk. After 8 years in my party, at 24, I was elected president, and I finally had a leadership role. I could have stayed quiet and not made any trouble in order to solidify this new position in the dominant group. But I see too many promising politicians just quit politics because they never had the chance to bring their ideas into public debate. This is dangerous for politics and for my party, because this is how we lose good politicians that would keep us alive. So we wanted to make room for the next generation of politicians. At this time, a politician stayed in the same position over and over again, and several seats were occupied by the same person. So there wasn't any room for new people, new ideas, and new energy. To change that, we had to change the rules. And to do so, we had to fight against historical figures. They were afraid that those changes would shake up the world. And there were also resistance from young politicians who were afraid that at one point it would limit their career. It was not popular at all. And I was not popular to suggest it. But I had the chance to get the support from someone I didn't expect, one of the historical male figures. He was one of the founders of the party. He had been a national parliamentarian in Switzerland years ago, and at this time, he was a local parliamentarian. He would have been elected there over and over again. And also, he was the next in line to get into state parliament. So he would have been one of the first impacted by these new rules. Yet, he actively endorsed us. Because, as one of the founders, he knew that we needed new blood and new energy to evolve. Now, in our party, a politician can no longer have more than 3 consecutive terms, and also cannot also occupy different seats at the same time. So, in the next local elections, half of our parliamentarians might be new. Every young person can get into politics and make a change. It is an important role for young people because the future is in the hands of the youth. We are going to live most of our life in the world we are building now. And the sooner we begin to change the rules, the sooner all the things we are complaining about are going to change. If you do nothing, nothing is done.